Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Thank y'all for tuning in to your Cousin Chief show. This is your Cousin Chief, K100 show, and today I have the legendary one and only Deniece Williams, and it's a pleasure to have Deniece with us today. Taking time out of her busy schedule to join, and I would like to with her round of applause. Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you, Deniece.
You just went mute.
Um,
Okay, there you go.
what mute? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us today. So tell us all like how you got started in music. Let us know about Deniece. Where did you grow up at, and how did you get started?
Well, I grew up in Gary, Indiana, and grew up in church, in the Church of God in Christ. My grandfather was a minister. My great aunt uncle was a bishop for the state of Indiana for the Church of God in Christ. So my aunt tells me, my dad's sister says that one day I was out on the back porch, and I said, "We will now have a selection from Deniece," and that I began singing this song. And so she came out and she said, "Oh, that was so nice. Do you think you would sing it for us on Sunday at church?" And I said, "Yes." I sang it, and that's when I started in the children's choir at church when I was 3 years old.
Wow, that got to be amazing. You sit in the back porch introducing yourself and singing, and then it launched a beautiful career.
Yeah.
Wow,
Well,
well,
that's
that's
what
nice.
we do at church. They would say, "We'll have a selection from Sister So and so," and Sister stand up and give a selection. So I was mimicking what I saw them do in church.
you know, I wish I could sing. I really do. They say when you sing in church, it's a joyful. I sing in church, they probably run. Not gonna be joyful. Maybe I could play the tambourine or something.
No, you be surprised.
No, you'd be surprised. You're like, no, that boy cannot sing. No, no, stop, stop. We're not gonna do that today. Chief, we're
Okay,
not gonna do
okay,
that. I tried. I'm like with Downing. I tried and I tried, and that just didn't work out.
yeah.
So, so singing in church. How long would you sing in church before you start doing circular music, regular music?
I sang in church up until I was 18. And what happened at that time is my music teacher, Mr. Horace Parks, he had bought a record store, which used to be owned by Vivian Carter. And he was renting her record store. And I would sit out front and spin the records because I asked him, I said, "If it's okay with my mom, can I come and work in the record store at least 2 days a week after school? Because I'm trying to get money to go to college." And he said, if it's okay with her. And my mom agreed. So I would sit there and I would, spin the records and I would sing along with them. I sing with Aretha Franklin, "Ain't No Way." I sing with Gladys Knight. I sing with the Supremes. I was singing, with all these folks. And one day my music teacher or my math teacher came in through the back where the records were, the supply he kept. And he came out and he heard me sing. He says, "I didn't know you could sing." I said, "That's because you don't go to church. If you went to church, you would know I could sing." And so right after that, he asked my mom if he could bring some people over from Chicago to hear me sing. And she said yes. And he brought over Eugene records from the Shy Lights, Barbara Acklin, who wrote a song called "Love Makes a Woman." And the other guy was from Toddling Town Records. And they liked my voice and they signed me and promised me fame and fortune. All I got was a record contract. And I put out my first regional song. And that's how I got started in the music industry.
It's funny you said the shot likes. There's a guy with the shot likes that adopted me. He's a real good friend of my father. He has a new song out called "She's Not in My Bed, but She's Still in My Head." And he hit me about 6 months ago and asked me to push the record for her to help him break it. And I told him, "Yeah, I got it." So every time I would play the record on our Southern Soul station, I said, "This is the number one hit record in every institution. Every inmate is saying she ain't in my bed, but she's sure in my head." That was a shot likes. And he said, "Nephew, I don't know what you saying, but that song got 20,000 downloads. Keep saying it. Keep saying it. You breaking my record. Keep saying it." So Marshall calls me every now and then talking about, "I need you to start saying my record again. My downloads going down. Keep
Yeah,
saying the inmate stuff. Let the inmates know I still sing the song."
yeah, yeah.
So what was it like the first time you heard your music on the radio?
It was very strange because I never, heard my record on the radio. So when I did hear it on a regional radio station, I said, "Oh my gosh!" But at the same time, I got in a lot of trouble for singing the record. My church told me, good Christian girls don't sing the devil's music. They just sing the gospel. And so they were mad at me. So they took my church membership. They told me I couldn't sing in the choirs anymore. I was in about five choirs. Can't sing in the choirs anymore. And you're no longer a member of the church. And it was probably one of the most devastating times in my life when that happened.
Wow, they took your choir robe and kicked you out of the church?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but the church is supposed to save souls and people make mistakes and forgiveness. They just like condemned you. How did that feel?
Well, my my church was more on the the Bible said there is now therefore no condemnation, but condemnation was king at my church. So it was like uh, every Sunday you had to get saved again, you was going to hell. But I so appreciate that I was raised in that church because I was afraid, I was sincerely afraid of God, and I did not want to go to hell. So it was really good because when I finally did get in the bit in the industry, I was too scared to do a whole bunch of stuff. It's like, that's all right. And my reputations quickly became, oh, Deniece, well, that's church, that's missionary. She ain't, she ain't gonna do nothing. And I didn't.
Man, that is nice to hear. Nice to hear. So when you start doing your first record deal and you got out of high school, so what was like what was high school like being a singer? Everybody knew you could sing in church, and I'm sure people always wanted, "Hey, let me hear you blow, girl. Let me hear you blow." What was high school like? Were you like
Well,
one of the popular person that always sung, or you told them, "Well, if you don't hear me sing, you got to come to church"?
it was funny because in my high school book, they put a picture and they voted me um, uh, the most successful in the entertainment business. And that was so funny to me because I never ever wanted to be in the entertainment business because of my upbringing. I was working and I wanted to go to school to be a nurse because my mom worked at the hospital in the department that sterilized instruments for surgery. So I was up in the surgery a lot. My grandmother was a nurse's aide, and I was the first at this particular hospital in Chicago. I was the first black candy striper there, and I loved, taking the cart around and delivering books and flowers and sometimes singing. So my goal was I was going to be a nurse, but we have our plans and God has His plans.
Right. That is so true. We do a lot of things, and sometimes we get overwhelmed and overjoyed and say we do this and we do that, but we only do what He allows us to do. And when we lose sight of who's give us those blessings, we soon lose them. We got to be thankful and mindful and grounded because He who take it will give it, will take it away.
Yes, absolutely. So, finally it dawned on me this is what God wanted me to do. So I said, okay. And now I went away to school. I got a knock on my door right before I went away to school from the Jackson Five's cousin. He played drums with them, and he said, "We just got signed in Motown. We're going to L.A. What are you going to do?" I said, "I'm going to go to Purdue University and get my nursing career, my nursing." And they went on. I saw Michael perform when he was about 4 years old. At the Masonic Temple there in Gary, and they were just incredible. The talent that was there, but it was funny when I finally ended up in LA and I reached out to the Jackson family. I said, "Well, I didn't turn out to be a nurse, but I'm here, you know.
Cool. You know, things were a little different back then. People really reached out and tried to help people a lot more back then. This wasn't so much the gatekeepers. You know, back then it was like a unwritten code. If you make it out of the South, or if you make it out of a hard time, to actually reach back and try to help another person,
Yeah,
and to go for that person to help another person. Now
yeah,
it's like I made it out high, y'all didn't. So what? You know, it's not like that no more. You know,
no,
and it's since like a lot of people came back to the South and put themselves in more favored positions, they still could help a lot of people. That's one of the things I take pride with our radio network. You know, we have 11 stations. We reach out to a lot of people, and that's why I'm so honored to have you here because
mm,
you're one of the pioneers. There's a lot of people out there, and they like me. They're not making joyful noise. They're just making sounds. But they had that opportunity because of people like you
I
paved the
know that
way.
is true.
Hey, I'm being honest. All that music ain't good music. I'm just being 100% honest. And I own 11 radio stations. So all that music is not good music. I'm just
No,
being.
it's not. No, it's not. You know, they're not. We don't have no Luther Vandross. You
Do
know,
you know? Do you know? Do you know? I grew up as a kid, as a teenager, in my 20s, and I didn't even know that Luther was a cover artist. I did not know that he took other songs and owned them. I thought they was all originals. That just showed the talent that he had and possessed. And
yes.
still, he's gone, and you can put on a Luther song to drop so many memories, and you shake your head and tapping your feet, snap your fingers, and you
Mm-hmm.
just get into it. He draws people in. He made real music. And there's a lot of popular songs out now, but they're not real music.
No,
They won't last generations like
no,
your music.
no. They won't. I said, you know, I've been on the radio for almost 50 years now, and I still hear my music on the radio. I said, ain't nobody gonna be listening to Bootylicious 40 years from now.
Now there was a song I forgot the young lady. Um, I think it's "Sexy Red" and Megan Thee Stallion made. There was a remake by Aretha Franklin years ago, and then
Mhm.
there was another song. Name of the song. Like wow, I did some research. I was just researching about your own songs. I'm like, a lot of this stuff came out way back in the '70s. I didn't even know that. You know, people be amazed at how much things synchrony they goes in circle when you don't know your history. You don't know what happened, and you don't know what's to come. So you know what's going on. All
That's
this
very,
stuff is repeat.
that's very true. I mean, um, well, one of the problems I think that we're finding with talent in the industry is that we certainly are no longer having this music industry. The music program has been taken out of schools, you know, because they said we got to make cuts. We're no longer producing singers. We're no longer producing musicians. You know, we're no longer producing Marcellus. You know, none of the jazz artists went to Marcellus or none of those kind of artists because they've cut out the music programs in school. And that's where a lot of us also, besides growing up in the church, we were, you know, we had music program in school. We were standing, you know, a lot of the guys were standing under the street lamp at night, singing in groups, trying to be the Temptations or, you know, or Pops or any of that. We're not doing that anymore. And that's the reason why the music has suffered in as much as pure music and music as an art. You know, I used to tell even my record label, I said, listen, don't talk to me like I'm just a singer. I am an artist. When it comes to my music, I view it as art. And I'm not ready just to sing anything and sacrifice my art. Go give it to somebody else. And that's the way I felt about it. I felt that we're not developing musicians and artists anymore the way they did when I was growing up.
You know, that's funny. I interviewed the Force MDs and they told me that, you know, they said they had a motto: when you broke, you go down by the boat. Go down by the dock and sing on the sidewalk. I was like, are you serious? Like, yes, you know. And they
Yep.
shared a lot of stuff with me. But it's like, you know, a lot of people don't have that tenacious intensity. They have expectations, you know, they don't have appreciation for the culture and the industry. They just have expectations, expect things out of it. You know, you got to put the work in. You
Yeah.
have to put the sweat and equity in to get it out. You know, you might do 10 albums and one single pop and then that launch your career. You might do one song and it pop and then they never hear from you again.
That's true.
It's not going to happen overnight.
True. It works
So
both
just
ways.
Let's take a quick commercial break and we'll come back with more Deniece Williams. Is it all right with you, Deniece? Take a quick break
Okay.
and we'll be right back after this commercial break.
I should have put you somewhere when
GC Radio is giving away to some of its lucky listeners Beats by Dre earbuds. That's right, Beats by Dre earbuds. It's no cost to its listeners to register. Just go to gcradiohub.com and enter the free raffle. So don't hesitate. Go to gcradiohub.com, click on the earbud, register, and cross your fingers, because you could be one of the lucky listeners. These earbuds are priced at $169, and you can win a pair for free. That's right, free of charge to you. Just enter the raffle at gcradiohub.com and stay tuned to our live broadcast, The Cuzzin Chief Show, Afro Beats with King Glow, Uncut After Dark with Freaky and Friends, the Mississippi King on the Southern Soul Superstar Station. Stay tuned to any of those live shows and listen out for your name being called. At GC Radio, you have to get connected to stay connected. At gcradiohub.com.
Hey, thank y'all for tuning in and staying with us. Just to let you know, Deniece, we also live on the Hub station, also R&B station. Tuning in, they don't get to see us, unfortunately, but they get to hear us.
Okay.
To an iHeart Radio. We're talking about the history and the sweat and equity, and people don't take things seriously, feel entitled and stuff. Let me ask you a question. So, who are you passing the torch to in the family with the family business in the vocals? I know somebody in the family got to take the torch and start running with it. Who's taking the torch?
Well, my two older sons are they have television projects that they've been working on for several years now. So they're in another part of the entertainment. They're not in music, but they're in television and theater pieces, that they've written, and they're doing. My third son is a songwriter, incredible songwriter. In fact, he's writing some music for my new project now. So he's an incredible songwriter. He's doing that. My youngest son has a beautiful, beautiful voice. So we're now working with him, with Keith, in fact, to on his songs that he's written and we're making demos and fine tuning that. And he's stepping up to be an artist.
So he's a songwriter and he's stepping up to be an artist.
Yeah. Yes.
What advice do you have for him as a guy in the industry that's starting out, being that you're a seasoned vet and a veteran, and you know what the industry like over the years and how it's changed? What advice do you have to new and up and coming artists?
Well, I
into
really,
the game?
especially the songwriters, to make sure that you copyright your music so that other people can't, you hear your song or something similar to your song, and you have legal rights then to go after that person. Kind of like there was a big to do when Marvin Gaye's song came out, with Robin Thicke and I think the other guy, I can't remember. But, it's like when we heard the song, we said, wait a minute, that's Marvin Gaye's song. And the younger people, my son said, no, that's not. That's Robin Thicke. And what's the guy? I can't remember. I said, honey, that's
Robin
not.
Thicke. I think it's Robin Thicke, Nelly, and who's the other guy?
No, I don't think
Robin Thicke,
Nelly
Nelly.
was on it, but the other guy,
Red Lines.
I see his face. Cause I'm happy. Cause I'm happy. Him.
For real.
Yeah, for real. Robin Thicke for real.
Right.
And so my generation will say, that's Marvin Gaye. My son's generation will say, that's Robin Thicke. Robin Thicke. Pharrell. Well, Robin Thicke and Pharrell ended up paying Marvin Gaye's family a couple of $1 million.
Ooh, a few $1 million.
Then, so it's like protect your music, because Marvin's song hadn't been got to give it up, hadn't been protected, then there would be no way that they could lodge a complaint or a lawsuit saying that it was his song. So I always advise songwriters, please copyright your music. A lot of people used to send me their music. I said, unless it's copywritten, don't send it to me, please. And don't send it to anybody else. So I'll say that. If you want to be a singer, if there's some local group or some local band that's around town, you can always go and want to be a lead singer or a musician with them. Of course, going into church is one of the best places to be to fine tune your vocal gifts. I mean, I learned pitch and tone. I learned, the harmonies in the choir. And my choir director, my cousin would say, just sing where you fill in the holes. So I never had to be an alto, but I would sometimes sing second soprano, sometimes first soprano. But the altos were usually the strongest, and of course the guys, the tenors. But get around other singers or get around a band where you can hone your skills. And then also, if you're going to be a singer or something, it's really great to love my music. It's really great to love Beyonce. It's really great to love Mariah, whoever you love. But then you need to start to work on your own individual interpretation. We already have those people. We don't need more of that. We need somebody being unique. And that I always encourage people, with that too. I always say, try to make a really good demo of your voice and demo of the songs you've written, because that's what Maurice White heard from when he heard me was demos that I had done on the songs I had written. Free was one of the songs that I had demoed, and I sent it over to Maurice White, and they heard my songs, and that's how I got with them because I had done pretty good demos. Me and a piano keyboard player and an organ, had a little bit of a demo together. So if you're going to send your music out to people or out to a record label, make sure you have a reputable demo that really showcases who you are.
That's wonderful. That's great advice to people. Before you start chasing the green and white, get your black and white together.
Well,
Get your paperwork right so that you can be protected. That's important.
get it correct because I taught this business of music. I taught it at Howard University. I taught it at Indiana University. I taught it at Indiana State University. I taught it at Morgan State University because the industry is a business. There's millions and billions of dollars being made, and if you don't understand how those dollars are being made and what your rights are, then you can forget it. Everybody else is going to be making money but you. When you listen to the story, with so many artists that it was their music but they never got paid. And I used to teach you can make money as a singer, you can make money as a songwriter, you can make money as a music publisher. I taught them what the manager does, what the agent, talent agent does, your booking agent, your lawyer. I taught every level of the business of music because I wanted them to know. And they don't teach that. They just, kids are so excited to get their record and hear it on the radio that they all the time, I would say 90% of the time, they are not protected and somebody's ripping them off and they're not making the money that other people are making off of them.
The people need they're tuned in. They need to understand this that they want to take shortcuts and you run off the bag quick. You end up losing shortcuts. Anything in life, got to do things the right way. Be protected. You got to be protected. Just to let you know, we have a lot of people tuning in. We got a salute to you from finally Regina, one of our best DJs on here. Then also Joshua, Real to Real 360. It says, "How you doing today? Good afternoon." And you're a fan of your music. Radio family. We also one of your fans, Eric Cummins, in the background. So I'm like, hey. So we got a treat for him. Maybe we can call him up before we finish the interview. Let us speak to you. It's just amazing, Deniece, how many people you affect with your music. I mean, and not just affect your music, like lifetime. I mean, people have lifetime memories, when I hear "Let's Hear It for the Boys," when I hear "Silly," I can go back to like this, like boom, I was at this point. You can even like remember the smell in a room. That's just like how much energy that you put in your music that it has a mental effect on people ears. decades and decades of years. And that's through the hard work that you put in. You didn't go in there and one take and jump out and said, hey, I got a hit. This is great. It took time and persistence. And, you put a skill to that craft. And
Yeah.
you're still relevant today. Even as an idol and an icon, you're still relevant today, good music. I mean, I could put on Let's Hear For The Boys right now, and people that wasn't even born when you made the record start snapping their feet and dancing like, hey. So what is it like when you hear different generations listen to your music and their response of it, and you're like, wow, I did that way back then, and they still love it? What is the reaction feeling like for you?
Well, it's an honor. It's an honor, because I never thought that, 50 years later, people would still be listening to me, or close to 50 years. I did last year. These two young ladies did a version of Free. And then their producer, who was a friend of my son's, Kevin, said, man, do you think that your mom would come and do a little version of this with them for Instagram? And he told me, I said, yeah, this sounds like it would be fun. And we did it. And this little 30-second thing on Free. And people said, this guy said, whoa, that song is 48 years old and she still sounds good. And when I saw the comment, I said, I did that 48 years ago. I didn't even know it had been that long since the song had been out. And certainly now, like I said, it's 49, 50 years old. And people still love that song, and it's just amazing and such an honor that the music has meant that much to so many people, even around the world.
Well, that's because you knew the assignment. You got the assignment right. When you don't get the assignment right, you don't get those results. But you knew the assignment. You hit a nail on the head. You did a wonderful job.
That's right. That's right.
So, if you don't mind, I would like to play a song, and I'd like to know what were your thoughts about it when you had this song. I mean, when you came up with the song. What was it like? What inspired you? And what was? I'm really interested in what was the motivation?
Okay.
Hear that?
No, I can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
The ones trying to hide all those bruises inside. You don't need no doctors, no vitamins.
You hear the song now?
Being knocked down by love is one of life's little exercises for your heart. And you gotta stay in shape. It won't kill you. So the next time your lover says it's quitting time, you ain't gonna die, you're gonna exercise.
Too blind to see you letting me go, but now that you've set me free, it's gonna take a miracle. Yes, it's gonna take a miracle to make me love someone new, 'cause I'm crazy for you. Oh, didn't you know?
So that song right there was like one of your biggest hits. What was the inspiration behind that song?
Well, I actually heard that song when I years ago. It was. I had some. I heard it, and I said, Tom around my house for 20 some odd years singing this song. I love this song. And Tom said, what is it? I said, it's gonna take a miracle. He said, oh man, Teddy Randazzo wrote that song. I wish I had wrote that song. And we got on the piano and we started working on it. And I always loved that song since I was a little 13 years old was when I had heard it. And so we did it. And the next thing I know, I had a top 5 or top number 4 pop hit with that song. But that's where it started from at 13, listening to it and loving it.
Wow, that is amazing. So, wow. So you knew that one day that would be one of your hit records, and you had it in your mind. And when it came to fruition, once again, you knew the assignment and put it out there, and it was like one of your biggest hits. What was? Now tell me this. Now I know that the sense of accomplishment and doing everything right and everything, but what was it like when you heard that song on the radio?
When I heard that one, oh
Uh-huh.
my gosh, I was so amazed and so excited because when you live with something in your heart, as long as I lived with that song, and to see it take on the next step, and even seeing the video from it, it was like, wow, that's amazing. Thank you, God.
Yeah, I mean, I can just imagine. You had that in your head. You had dreamed of putting it out. You put it out, and then, like you said, you even had the video for it. And then it comes out, and only it comes out as a hit. Like, I have arrived. I have fulfilled my destiny of getting this project out. Something that I've always envisioned, but to see it to come to fruition, and then everybody loved it as much as you do. They accept it.
Yeah.
And you did it. I mean, that title and that song and your voice, I mean, that is a perfect combination, because when you hear it's going to take a miracle, it's going to take a miracle for somebody to top you singing that. Because anytime I hear that song, I'm like, that's Deniece song. That's Deniece. No, I know where that came from.
Yeah, that was pretty special. And Tom Bell was the perfect producer for it as well.
Who's the producer for that one?
Tom Bell,
Oh, okay.
yeah, he did the Delphonics, he did the Stylistics, um, the Spinners. Tom Bell was just an incredible producer, and I was so excited to work with him. And I tell you, I miss him. I lost him last year, but I miss him a lot because he knew exactly what to do with my voice.
Wow. Now, out of all the years, are there some of the collaborations you did with some other people that you enjoyed, and with some of those artists or songs that you did a collab with that you really enjoyed and came out just the way you wanted to, or was this like somebody you really looked forward to working with, and you actually got a chance to work with them?
Oh my gosh, I was so excited to work with George Duke when we did Black Butterfly. George Duke brought Black Butterfly to me, and I knew when I heard that song that it was something I was supposed to sing. And so George Duke produced that on me. And he also produced Let's Hear It for the Boy. And so I miss him too. I miss him too because he was another one that knew exactly what to do. Now there's a funny story about Let's Hear It for the Boy, and I tell it in my show. And in the show, I tell them how my record label caller said, we're gonna do a soundtrack, and we want to know if Deniece wants to be a part of it. Unfortunately, there's only one song left, but go over to the songwriter's house, listen to the song, and you guys let us know what you think. So we went over, and the songwriters gave us the tape, and we go outside, and I said, "Oh gosh, I'm so excited to do this song." And George Duke said, "We're not doing that song." I said, wait a minute. Did you hear what I hear? It's going to be in a movie. I said, "George, we can do this." I said, "This song is going to be #1. We're not doing that song. I don't like that song." So, I always say that, when I grew up, the man is considered the head. I said, but the woman is the neck, and she can turn the way she wants to. So I said, I stopped talking to George about the song, and I went to his wife, Corrine. And I told Corrine George wouldn't do the song. She said, "Girl, don't worry about it. You'll do the song." Sure enough, about a week and a half later, we was doing the song. George was mad. "I'll make you sing. You're going to have to sing." I said, "Okay, that's no worries." And 15 million sales later, You know, you don't like that song, send me the money they send you. Okay. You know,
Wow, that is a wonderful story.
but
Wonderful story.
George was Let's Hear It for the Boy and Black Butterfly was probably my favorite songs that I did with him. Excuse me.
No problem. Man, I didn't know that actually happened. Man, I learned something today.
He didn't
But
want
you made another song that I like. I'm gonna play this for you if you don't mind. This is one of my mom's favorites.
Silly of me to think that I could ever have you for my God. How I love you. How I want you. Silly of me to
So let me ask you this: on this song right here, what was the motivation for this one?
wants me to.
Well,
How I love you.
I broke up with the guy I was dating.
You're just a love to score. I know that I should be looking for more.
And I
Yeah,
said,
hold on. Hey,
I
what was
got,
that again?
I said, I called my songwriting partner about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I said, I got this little song rummaging around in my head. I said, can you put it down? And we'll write on it when I get home, because I think I was in the Bahamas with no St. Thomas with Sinbad doing the Sinbad show, and we broke up. And so I said, put it down. I said, I probably won't ever have it on a project because it's coming out as a waltz. I said, it's in 6/8 time. I don't know why I'm writing a waltz. And I said, but put it down. And so when I came home, we started writing on it. But I wrote on it because it was out of an experience. I felt, really silly that this guy who was a club owner and, did this thing. So that's how that song came about.
And I was wondering how you came up with that, man. But I know I love that song. Like I said, plenty of Wednesdays and Saturdays you had heavy rotation in my household. Mom was a DJ and I was a janitor, and we got the house clean. We definitely got it clean.
Yeah.
So you told us you got a project you're working on. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with that. And you guys, good luck with the project. I can't wait, and I'm eager for you to finish that. And it must be an honor to do that with your son. But I'm hearing some stuff around that you're doing some other stuff back in your old community, in Gary, Indiana, working with the mayor and some projects. What are some of the stuff you're doing back home?
Well, back home, I'm hoping to be a part of, revitalizing the city with the mayor. We've been talking. We're trying to get the steel mill purchased back there. There's some talk of someone wanting to buy that steel mill and infusing about $1 billion in the city, which would be great. So we've been talking a lot about that. I'm going back there, and I am doing a sober living home for women with children, a sober living home for women, period, sober living home for men. And I'm also starting a soup kitchen back there where you can get at least one meal a day for free, And I also want to start a farm back there. So there's some things that I'm ready to go back home and help rebuild that city. And we have an incredible new mayor, young man, Eddie Melton, who is really from Gary, was a senator for Indiana for 8 years and decided to come home and help the city. So it's quite an exciting time to go home and to work on rebuilding the city. I'm doing it. I'm excited. I'm happy. And I'm a little sad because my partner in the enthusiasm and we're working together to rebuild our home was Tito Jackson, and then I just lost Tito, several months ago. He passed away. And I was like, what? Because we've been working on, wanting to do something home for a long time. So we'll probably do something in Tito's name because he was also a big part of our little group and what we're trying to do. So it's exciting to go back home and get some things together.
Wow, that's amazing. We got one of your fans want to ask you a question, and of him. He's a super fan. I mean, he's tuned in now. Like when you mentioned George Duke, he sent me a picture of him and George Duke, and I sent it to your son so you can see it. He sent me a picture of you. He's one of your biggest fans. If you don't mind, I'm gonna give him a call and see if he can answer. He can say hello to you if you don't mind.
Okay,
We'll give him a call.
You can take one call.
Okay, so we do that from time to time. GC Radio, Cousin Chief. We call him Eric Cummins. Eric, how you doing, bro?
Deniece Williams.
Yeah.
Can you,
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm here.
we hear
Is
you.
Deniece
Go ahead.
there?
Yeah.
Deniece.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi. Can you
I
hear
can
me?
hear.
You can't hear me?
Are you there, Deniece Williams?
Yeah, she can hear you. She's saying hello.
God is truly amazing. God is truly amazing. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for your amazing music still today.
Oh,
I'm honored to talk to you. I'm trying to put it on so I can hear you talking, so I can hear myself. Thank you. Hold on, because I want to hear myself talking to you. Your music has been filling my soul from day one when you first started. I'll be 58 August 2nd.
oh my God.
I don't drink, I don't do drugs, but God is good all the time.
All the time, baby. All the time.
Are you there?
Yes, all the time.
I can't hear. Hold on.
God is
Hold on. What's going on with this phone? Hold on, Bob. I'm sorry. Are you guys here?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear, Eric.
Okay. Deniece Williams,
Yes.
I have another gift for you when you come back to town
Oh my
to
God.
Yoshi's.
Is
Eric,
it
just to
And
Eric, let you know, she said she still had a necklace, bro.
a necklace?
tell her I got more when she come back to Yoshi Jazz Club. And I went to see you in San Jose. You were amazing. I was in the third row. I was trying to get your attention, but there was so many people. But thank you for the music and everything else. And guess what? I saw the Jacksons and Thunder Valley and front row with my friend Evan Champagne King, who called me up on stage. I know her real well. I'm looking at her go down on my wall. And Tito Jackson is born the same day as my mother and twin brother,
Oh,
October 15th.
yeah.
And so I was able to see him directly in front.
Yeah.
But just thank you for the music and just keep doing what you do. And I have every last one of your CDs. Never say never. And a song you don't like. I got the next dance for you. Ooh.
Eric,
I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Eric, you making me feel like Barry Gordy, like this audition for a record deal.
No. Well, I wish I can't hear her. I can't hear her, but she can hear me though.
Loud
right?
and clear, bro.
I can't hear her.
Well,
That's
thank you.
okay.
Well, thank you for your loyal, faithful listen, bro, and dedication. Also following Deniece, and I thank you, GC Radio. Thank you. And we will did you back here when we finish the interview, but we definitely will call you back. Okay. Thank you.
I
so
love you,
much.
big brother.
You got it, bro.
Thank you, Deniece, for the music. God bless you, and keep our city in our prayers. It's having a lot of challenge every day.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay. Man, just look, Deniece. Look at the lives you impact. My phone is ringing up. I just have another one from Atlanta, Georgia. Justine Jackson hit me up. She said, "Tell Deniece hello. I love her. She's a wonderful artist, and I grew up to her too. And I love to see her in concert, and can't wait to see her again." I mean, you have impacted so many lives. It's not just me. I'm glad to see that echo and it's radiating. And I'm not if I don't call you out, I'm not trying to single anybody out, but I'm focusing on my interview, and I can't hit everybody's inbox. My phone is ringing like a high school bell during lunchtime. It's constant. Everybody want to get in. We can't get everybody because we're here to let Deniece tell her story. We don't hear you guys' story today. We tell her to tell her story. So Deniece, what can you give to your fans and audience about persistence, longevity, and entering into business today, other than getting their paperwork right? You advise, like getting a singing coach, or you really got to take the leap of faith. What advice do you have?
Well, like I said before, as a songwriter, copyright your music. As a singer or a musician, try to join a local band or try to join a band that showcases your talents. Also, if you do send your music out to people and out to record labels or managers or producers, like I said, make sure it's copywritten and make sure
Okay.
that you get a lawyer to read the contract so that you know exactly what you're getting for being an artist. I never forget that whole interview with TLC, and they were the biggest girls group, in the United States, maybe in the world, and they weren't making any money. Get you a lawyer, look at the contract, read the fine print, because it is the music business is just that. It is a music business making
Business.
millions of dollars. So, baby, go get yours.
Now, Deniece, is something I don't always do, but I'm gonna have to ask a special favor. Can you give us a little sample of your voice live? Any song you like to? I mean, just a tribute, just to get a little Deniece live. I'll feel honored, man, just to interview, but that'll put me over the top. Is that possible?
Oh my gosh, I don't know what it's going to be. My God is truly amazing. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Thank you, Deniece. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm like Eric. I'm overjoyed. Like I said, it is an honor to have you at Get Connected Radio, and I am so proud to get to do this interview with you. And it's just anything that you have going on, or in the morning. My morning show is from 8 to 9:30 Central Standard Time. We have anywhere between 15 and 25,000 people listening every morning to Cuzzin Chief Show. Wake up as a morning show, and we play a lot of old school R&B and hip hop. So anything you like to share, any projects, anything you're working on, shows, please give me a call. We'll put you on the air. Let my morning crew hear you. We would love to be a part of that, whatever you have going on. And at this point, I would love to keep you all day and just talk, but I know you got things to do. So we're going to go ahead and sign off. Is any final words you'd like to say to your fans and our loyal listeners?
Well, thank you so much for hanging in there with me for, 49, almost 50 years. I love you guys. Couldn't have done it without you. You have a special place in my heart forever.
You. And those y'all that don't know, man, this is a treat. It is a special. We even got a little bit live for it. Now I'm gonna tell you like this. If you never saw Deniece in concert, you missed it. But if you got a CD player, you can put it in, and you just heard her live. And I can't wait for the new project to come out. I'm about to call Kevin because I don't have her number. I got a son. I'm gonna call him, bug the hell out of me. Hey, when the next project coming? I want more. She gave us a little encore. She gets enough to ask for a little bit more. So we're gonna be anxiously waiting for that, Deniece. And when you do release it, we would love to shine and put it on our platform and put it out there for you. We'd be honored to.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You guys, God bless you all.
So
Bye.
this is to our fans and people tuning in on the radio, on YouTube, on Facebook, our radio. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope we leave you better than we receive you, with a smile on your face and the grace and anywhere you come. Cuzzin Chief GC Radio, and we out. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you so much, our loyal listeners. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate you guys for tuning in to the GC Radio.
Okay.